Berhormat Dr. Mazli Malik, Minister of Education, Malaysia. Yang berbahagia Datin Paduka Engineer Dr. Siti Hamisah Tafsir, Director General, Department of Higher Education, Ministry of Education. Yang berbahagia Tan Sri Datuk Sri Dr. Wan Muhammad Zahid Muhammad Nordin, Chairman of Board of Advisors, Higher Education Leadership Academy. Yang bersuha Professor Dr. Nordin Yahaya, Director of Higher Education Leadership Academy. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, we have with us our guest of honor, Yang Berhormat Dr. Mazli Malik, Minister of Education, Malaysia, and it is the first engagement of the Ministry of Education in the AKEPT Leadership Talk series. Thank you, Yang Berhormat. With the keynote title, Advancing the Malaysian Higher Education Through Love, Happiness and Mutual Respect, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together once again and extend the warmest welcome to Yang Berhormat Dr. Mazli Malik, Minister of Education, Malaysia. Ladies and gentlemen, Yang Berhormat Dr. Mazli Malik.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Yang berbahagia Datin Paduka Insinyur Dr. Siti Hamisah binti Tafsir, Director General of Higher Education. Yang berbahagia Tan Sri Datuk Sri Dr. Wan Zahid bin Wan Nordin, Chairman, Board of Advisors, Higher Education Leadership Academy, AKEPT. Yang berusaha Professor Dr. Nordin bin Yahaya, Director of AKEPT, Chairman, Board of Directors, Universities, Vice Chancellors, and distinguished participants. And not to forget my Hojam, Professor Dr. Mehmet, Director of Durham Center for Islamic Economics and Finance at the Durham University, UK. Thank you for coming to Malaysia and being part of AKEPT Leadership Talk today. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and very good afternoon. I'm not sure whether that is the title? I don't think that's the title of my speech today. Because the one that I've been preparing since last night sounds very different. It sounds Advancing Malaysia's Higher Education. It starts with a dream. It sounds better. Okay, anyway, allow me to begin this speech, whatever the title is, with a quote from Simon Sinek's book, Leaders Eat Last. In that book, he states, this is very interesting, just listen to him. If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and becoming more, you are a leader. I believe that everyone in this hall today, in front of me, is a leader. In leadership, I believe there are three critical aspects. Firstly, the importance of doing, because people learn best from the example that you set. You need to do and show what you're doing. Secondly, the importance of learning, because great leaders are always learning from others and trying to take things to greater heights. Continuous learning. Humility is very important. If you don't have that, you never learn. Thirdly, the importance of dreaming, because all great leaders need to have a dream, a vision, and mission that allows them to go beyond the self. Our dreams must give our lives and the work that we do true meaning. And for that, I would like to thank a lot to Professor Mehmet, who keep teaching me on how to keep dreaming and not to stop myself from dreaming. Ladies and gentlemen, at the Ministry, we have embarked on three core areas of much needed reform. Number one, we are reinvigorating the spirit of the university through empowerment, autonomy, and integrity. Empowerment, autonomy, and integrity. That is the spirit, the core spirit of a university. Number two, we are bringing Malaysia's higher education system into global prominence. And number three, we are developing future-proof graduates that carry with them crucial humanistic values. Ladies and gentlemen, What does it mean to empower universities? It means that we want universities to be a place of learning, a place where knowledge is explored, uplifted, and imparted. Universities are and should be places that uplift society, be it through values, ideas, or solutions for real-world problems. This is why we are committed to bringing back university autonomy, as well as to ensure the integrity of academia. I personally believe in the power of individuals, in their creative genius and ability to thrive and be responsible. One of the first things that we at the university have done in this spirit is to repeal the section of the Universities and University Colleges Act 1971, UUCA, or notoriously known as AUCU. We have also allowed students to conduct their own campus elections, assisting them to form students' unions so that they can grow into leaders in the truest sense, by bringing in new ideas, ideals, and reimagination of how society can progress. I mean, maybe for Professor Mehmet, who came from the UK, listening to this, there's nothing new. Students' unions are always there. But in Malaysia, it is something which is not really new. It was there once, but it has been missing for a couple of decades. Now we are reviving it back. And B, we are also working rigorously to ensure the highest level of integrity in our academia, including improvising corporate governance, appointing eminent figures as members of our Vice-Chancellor Select Committee, and have formed the Committee on Integrity in Higher Education. Just now I had a discussion with Datin Paduka and Tan Sri Wahid. I mean, a couple of days ago, or was it yes? A couple of days ago, I mean, the Select Committee have finished their meetings or interview to select or to appoint one of the university's VC. And this is the process. The Select Committee will select and appoint a VC, and it came to me, their name, and we put my signature. But unfortunately, people thought that I handpick everybody to be the VC. Or maybe I close my eyes and choose anybody. And worse, they said that I'm choosing somebody from my own tribe, race, groups, jama'ah, and whatnot. This is not the way forward. Because what we have here, we have a set of prominent figures in the Select Committee who get involved in doing all the selection, all the interviews. My job is to duly appoint them by putting my signature there. For members of our esteemed academia, we are working to amend Act 605, governing statutory bodies to give lecturers their much-needed academic freedom. These amendments will give lecturers the freedom to publish articles and make public statements, including on previously perceived sensitive topics. I still remember those days where some of the topics and titles that have been proposed as part of the dissertation, master dissertations, or PhD thesis has been rejected due to its sensitivity for whatever reason. We are even looking into critical matters that come with freedom, that is, academic integrity and ethical conduct. In that respect, academics are free to enjoy the fruits of their labor and also be accountable for their behavior. And talking about integrity and ethical, I think it is timely for us to make a radical change. I mean, it's a shame when we look at some of the reports of our professors. I mean, it's not a secret anymore that if you look at the H index of most of our professors, they are at the same level of young professors in most of the Ivy League universities or universities abroad. And if I reveal the exact number of, or the exact percentage of our professors who scored below 5, everybody will be caught with surprise. But that is the reality of Malaysia, and we're going to change that. There's no room anymore for Professor Kangkong. There's no room anymore for political appointed professors in this new era of Malaysia. We will make sure that our university will be full of integrity and ethical. I have personally met our Prime Minister, Yang Amat Berhormat Tun Dr. Mahathir, about this. and we are in discussions with the Public Service Commission to exempt members of the academia from restrictions placed upon the civil service, and to add unto them certain guidance to ensure their level of academia and scholarship. Last but definitely not least, we are granting our universities autonomy and empowerment systematically from both a legal and policy standpoint. Last year, we formed a team of education, legal, and financial experts to look into the harmonization of the UUCA or AUKU and Act 555, or also known as Private Higher Education Act. This means that we will repeal both acts, especially AUKU, and replace it with a new one. By the end of the year, we hope to propose a white paper in Parliament that would look into university empowerment at all levels. The changes will cover every aspect, from funding to the appointment of board members to the freedom for institutions to decide on their own personnel. Our goal here is to make a fundamental shift in our role at the ministry, from a tight controller to a regulator, policy maker, and funder. Most importantly, we will act as facilitators to assist in the betterment of universities. We must not control our universities from doing what they do best, and we must trust that our universities have the means to progress when given the mandate to do so. Dear professors and distinguished guests, when given the freedom to strive, I believe we must also work towards thriving globally. We can no longer be insular about our place in the world. We can no longer be jago kampung. We need to compete and to share our knowledge with the world while learning from the world itself. I still remember talking to few of our VCs on the needs of our professors, especially from social sciences and humanities, to get their publications published by internationally renowned publishers. When I was in Beijing, I had the opportunity to meet with some of those publishers, and they were asking me, where are Malaysian professors? Are they not eager enough to get their publications to be published by, for example, Rule, Sage, Oxford Press, Cambridge Press, and others that similar to it? They said there's no sense of hunger amongst Malaysian professors, unlike the Chinese that they met. Chinese are really into it. And not far from us, Singapore. I've met with a lot of our Singaporean professors, and mostly actually they are Malaysians residing in Singapore and teaching in Singapore. They are eager to get their research and articles and books published by all those internationally renowned publishers. So from now on, I will keep pushing our VCs to give more pressure on our professors, on our lecturers, to get their research to be published internationally. Here, I refer to a few exemplary figures like Professor Dr. Ng Kwan Hong from Universiti Malaya, the first scientist from Malaysia to receive the Marie Curie Award. We also have more recently Dr. Abdul Rahman Muhammad from UKM, who published in the academically renowned Nature Materials Journal. This proves me that we have the talent and ability to succeed at the international level. We must therefore create an environment for our institutions and talents to stand amongst giants. And if they cannot stand among giants, they need to make friends with giants. So they will be known as the Friends of Giants. The ministry is reforming our regulations, and some examples of what we have done include increasing the collaboration between Malaysian and foreign universities. One of the highlights of my recent visits to the US, to the UK, France, China, and Japan is this. For our universities to thrive, we must work with the best partners in their respective fields. This is where, if you cannot stand along with the giants, you cannot defeat the giants, you befriend the giants. So you've been known as the giants' friends. The government will always welcome collaborations with any institutions abroad, whether through branch campuses, micro campuses, or research collaboration. We encourage more initiatives, such as the collaboration between the University of Sheffield's Advanced Manufacturing Research Centre, AMRC, and Universiti Teknologi Malaysia, as an example. UITM with Dyson, and recently UKM with the Oxbridge of China, Peking University and Tsinghua University, and many more. We also are encouraging greater movement and mobility of students and academics between institutions and countries. As the chair of the Southeast Asian Ministers of Education Organization, I am personally looking into building a stronger mechanisms to credit transfer as well as academic and student mobility for the entire ASEAN region. We are also looking into partnerships between ASEAN and countries like Japan, Korea, and the European Union to enhance the extent of our mobility. For universities and research institutes, this also means increased availability of capital, talents, and research opportunities to boost the quality of our research. Besides mobility, it is critical that we see to the preservation, generation, and export of our knowledge. In humanities, particularly on Southeast Asian studies, University Sultan Zainal Abidin, UNIZA, recently obtained the Malcolm MacDonald digitized manuscript from the University of Durham, at Durham. We signed an MOU that will lead to the largest digital repository of manuscripts in Southeast Asia, especially manuscripts from the Malay corpus of knowledge. This is to complement that of the British Library and the Royal Asiatic Society. I'm pleased to say that UNISA is also working closely with the Moroccan government to digitize Islamic manuscripts preserved by several custodians. My recent visit to Beijing International Publishing Forum 2019 also paved the way for our best literature to be offered to China and the world, and vice versa. And soon, we will also be invited to the Frankfurt International Book Fair, which is, known as the biggest book fair in the world. I hope that too will be a medium for us to promote most of our literatures and most of our publications. Amidst all of these efforts, we must never forget our roots and language. I have deep appreciation of literature because of its value in helping us to know ourselves better. And thank you again to my Hojam, who even during my very first day in Durham, kept telling me the importance of literature. Instead of asking me to read journal articles or researches, he asked me to read novels. That's how I began to improve my command of English. And also, it instigated within me the sense of appreciation of literature. While I was doing something on good governance. This is where we have introduced the Sastrawan at faculty to inculcate a love of our literature and national heritage, and further develop our publishing industry, reading habit, and learning culture. We are also working with publishers and universities abroad to make sure our literature, our own literature and academic publications will be seen on the shelves and in the directories of prominent libraries from all around the world. That is part of my dream, to see most of, researchers, publications that have been produced by our professors, by our lecturers, to be seated properly in those directories and to be cited by all the other professors and lecturers from all over the world. It is my hope that these efforts will make our academics be the reference for global scholarship in this field. Finally, we are doing more to publish our global brand in education. We are already an attractive destination to learn English, being the third most proficient country in Asia, and have strong niches in hospitality, Southeast Asian studies, engineering and Islamic studies, including Islamic banking, finance, as well as halal certification. Besides, globally respected institutions such as the International Center for Education in Islamic Finance, INSIAF, as well as Malaysian Accounting Standards Board. But to further our global aspirations, we need to have a more robust environment. And as such, we are easing our rules and regulations to make it more attractive for international bodies and institutions to enter and for our local institutions to reach out. We want to offer our best to the world and benefit the best from them in return. Ladies and gentlemen, our last and major goal at the ministry is to develop graduates who can prosper in the 20th century. We hear catchphrases like the fourth industrial revolution, but the most fundamental aspect of these changes in technology is to impart to our students the right skills, abilities, and values. This is not the era of traditional degrees and qualifications anymore. This is the new era of flexible education and agile governance. It is the era of research and innovation and talent planning. To realize this, we have leveraged upon and are expanding and creating and continuously creating critical innovations in the field of education. They include big data and machine learning to improve and predict graduate employability and skills matching, and for lecturers and researchers to improve upon their publications. The other day I was talking to our officers at the ministry on how we can push the publications of our lecturers and our professors to every single email box of researchers, of lecturers, of professors who are doing a similar topic or who are indulging in similar field. I think with artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, and big data, we can move towards that. Micro-credentials, where the Malaysia Qualification Agency has expanded their accreditation system to allow for credentials and professional certifications. Our MOOC online learning system is also being expanded to allow for a seamless platform between Malaysian students and academia with the larger global academic circles. We are also innovating in transdisciplinary work akin to a liberal arts system like UiTM's Bachelor in Eco-Technology. Universities have also formed clusters and niche areas towards strengthening their brands and expertise. MTON, for example, will lead in the area of TVET higher education. Most importantly, we are working with industry to form co-ownership models that would allow them to co-develop curricula, invest in facilities and training to ensure students are industry ready. And we are very fortunate at this moment because the industry has came to be part of our initiative to bring TVET as part of the mainstream. To integrate values into education, we have created new programs for the introduction of philosophy and ethics into universities. Philosophy is very important to open our students' minds to every realm of knowledge on its epistemology, ontology, and the interconnectedness between one discipline to another. Whereas ethics will broaden the students' horizon to appreciate differences and ultimately to comprehend and internalize the value of mutual respect in one's life. We have also expanded the Service Learning Malaysia University for Society, which is also known as SULAM, Sulam Menyulam, to infuse community service as a part of the learning experience. So for your information, Prof. Mehmet, before any of our students graduated, they need to take one subject which will which will push them for volunteerism. They need to serve the community. Furthermore, we are looking into enhancing our public-private research network grant scheme to give more opportunities for universities to contribute to small and medium enterprises. Sulam and the other examples cited are just a few ways in which universities can bring learning and values education to new heights. Future-proofing in education also means inclusion. Higher learning institutions are melting pots of diversity, with students and lecturers from a variety of financial and educational backgrounds. Be it the B40 students looking to education for social mobility, or the working professional studying part-time, or the retiree with a love of learning. Each individual is welcome to enrich their lives through lifelong learning and formal qualification. We must also make a space for the differently able. And hence, we will be launching the disability inclusion guidelines and policies in the 5th of September. It will be the first of its kind in Malaysia, where we embrace everybody with the spirit of inclusivity and education for all. Ladies and gentlemen, I've spoken at length on the various initiatives we have embarked upon, but I will be the first to admit that we need to do more. We need to learn more. We need to improve more. In order to realize this large ambition of an education system that can be the pride of our nation. Ladies and gentlemen, Eleanor Roosevelt once said, "The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams." So please allow me to end this. So please allow me to end this speech with my dream. Yesterday, I was juggling whether to quote Eleanor Roosevelt or to quote John Lennon. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. Yeah. But I always sing that, so let's quote Roosevelt here. So let me repeat again what Eleanor has said. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. So my dream is to see our Malaysian universities become global references of knowledge, and for Malaysia to become the destination of choice for quality, values-driven, inclusive, and international education. I truly and honestly believe that we have what it takes to make this happen. The only thing that we need to do is to work together as one big family. We can achieve a lot of things if we work together, if we believe in love, if we believe in mutual respect, and if we believe in happiness. So to all of the leaders here today, I say, dream big. Believe in the beauty of your dreams and aspirations. Learn from others on how to make it happen, and keep doing whatever it takes to make it come true. Thank you.
Thank you, Yang Berhormat Dr. Mazli, for the keynote address, for articulating your dreams and aspirations and the recommendations in moving forward. It indeed requires a unified and committed effort in advancing the higher education for the progress and prosperity of all. Now, the keynote address concludes today's program. Representing members of the audience, it is hoped that events such as these will continue the momentum to transform the present. And we'd like to thank our organizer, the Higher Education Leadership Academy, AKEPT, and UTM Space Universiti Teknologi Malaysia for making this sharing possible. And congratulations for its debut, and we are definitely looking forward for more. Now, on behalf of the organizer, congratulations, and thank you to everyone again for your wonderful participation. Thank you for having me as your Master of Ceremony. My name is Diana from Universiti Teknologi Malaysia. Last but not least, our distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, let's commemorate today with a group photo. We are pleased to invite Yang Berhormat Dr. Mazli to